I want to take a moment to let you know that I do have a Patreon. You can be a $3 a month, $5 or $10 a month member. $5 and $10 members get all my videos without ads and an audio version if you like to listen while you're multitasking, working, or whatever. $10 members actually get a free copy of my first book, Rational Answers to Stupid Questions. Link is in the description. Enjoy the video. Yep, that's exactly what I thought. So you are using, I can't believe that you idiots are still using this insane lie, this Chicago skyline picture. So that was taken, Joshua Nowicki. You can literally go to Joshua Nowicki's Facebook profile and you can see this picture. And in the comments of his picture that he took, Joshua Nowicki says, well, actually, you know what? I'm not going to reveal that information yet. You go ahead and you give me your numbers, and then I'll show everybody what a liar you are. How much drop?
Over 2,000 feet of drop, Peter.
Congratulations, you're a fucking liar and an idiot. So, here's the Earth curve calculator. 57 miles, you set your observer height as 0. That's how you got over 2,000 feet, you fucking idiot.
One second, Mr. Peter.
No, you've been debunked in real time. Once again, you can see, I actually have a video on this. It's over for Nathan Thompson. It's over for free, too. I'm wearing the same jacket in that video than I am right now. So you can go to Joshua Nowicki's Facebook page, and he tells you that he took this picture from on top of a sand dune. And then what you can do is you can go to Google Maps and you can look up the sand dunes in the park he was at. Oh, shoot. I just totally fucked that up. You can go to the sand dunes at the park he was at and you can get their elevation. And what you find is that he was a couple hundred feet, I believe it was. Yeah, 143 feet above the ground. Oh, sorry.
So
free.
Check it out, Peter.
It's free. You have a picture over the surface of Lake Michigan. You need to know the elevation of Lake Michigan. It's 577 feet. You are wildly over it.
Sir, St. Joseph, Michigan elevation above sea level is 198 meters. You fucking idiot. Now, we're going to take the observation.
That's completely irrelevant because the floor...
Oh my God, it's irrelevant?
The floor is Lake Michigan, and the floor is 577
Peter,
feet.
You're new to this, aren't you, Peter?
Tower Hill is actually 250 feet tall, not 143. Whatever. I'll grant you the 143. That's fine.
Bro, Tower Hill.
1450. Yeah, Sears Tower 1450. We'll work with that number. I didn't plug in any refraction. You should still see the tower. 253.3 feet or 5 feet should be visible.
Free, do you think that on the east side of Lake Michigan, the water is higher than on the west side of Lake Michigan?
Yes, it's above, it's different sea level.
You're a fucking genius, you idiot.
my
Congratulations.
God.
Lake Michigan is higher in elevation in the east than it is in the west. I don't know what to do anymore. Chat, it thinks that Lake Michigan is higher in elevation in the east than in the west. No, you need to look up what the elevation of Lake Michigan at the shoreline of Chicago is.
Dipshit, it's 670 feet.
No, you didn't. That's the elevation of the city.
Above the sea level.
Free
670 feet above sea level. Oh my God.
It's just here. I'm going to go to Google Maps and I'm just going to click on the terrain thing. Look at that. Right on the shore, 600. But that's a cliff above the shoreline. The shoreline is, like I said, 577 feet.
Above the shoreline. What the fuck are you talking about, Peter?
Holy, you're not actually... Wow.
Oh
well,
God,
let's do it. Let's do
Peter,
a POV.
Peter, fuck this, Peter. You're incompetent.
Oh
Peter,
wait. Oh look, Free. What do you see on the shore of Lake Michigan, Free? What do you see? What is this on the shore of Lake Michigan, Free?
You can see the same.
What's this on the shore of Lake Michigan, Free?
Yeah, and all of that is.
Oh look, it goes up.
I understand.
This is 577 feet. This is 600 feet.
Yes, and everything.
This is the most embarrassing performance I've ever seen from one of you idiots before.
Yeah, okay, Peter, you're the one that had to ask for.
I don't know. That might be the first flat earther I've ever seen arguing that water is not, in fact, level.
I don't know.
You're so rude.
To flat earthers?
Calling other people's idiots.
Well, what if they're an idiot, though?
Do you know that 0 multiplied by 0 cannot be 1? Which your
Nobody ever said that it is.
Oh yeah, it said Big Bang Theory said that nothing collided with nothing, and here you go, a boom.
It's coming in hot.
What is a bang? Do you know how numbers and all the science came from? And what a science is actually? What science is? Can you tell me?
Science is a methodological practice of studying the natural world that's often predicated on observation and experiment.
Thank you. It's an action. In short, it's
No, I didn't say it's an action. I said it's a methodological process.
Process, action, whatever.
Oh, right. I forgot that you have a middle school vocabulary, so methodological isn't going to work for you.
Idiot,
so
I'm not
science,
American, you stupid dipshit.
science is when thing happen, and 0 plus
it's an
0
action
is not
that you
1.
must act on
so now that we're on your level,
No, you're not on my level, actually, because you, first of all...
you need me to dumb it down for you a little bit more, Doulis?
First of all, you mentioned the vocabulary.
So, Doulis, go ahead and give us the evidence for creation that you said you have.
Can you roll back everything and...
Yeah, so, Doulis, I'm going to mute you every time you don't give me evidence.
Then listen.
Go ahead.
If you keep me muting, you won't...
Yeah, you're not giving me evidence, so I'm muting you, and then you'll get another turn here.
If you're not stupid, you won't mute me.
Yeah, so if you... I don't know why I said if. So I'm
Impatient,
still
rude,
literally waiting for
An
evidence.
intellectual idiot.
Yeah, so I didn't ask for you to say the word intellectual. So what evidence do you have?
Creation. 0 multiplied by 0 cannot be 1. Can you explain how the Big Bang appeared? What is the Big Bang? Explain me in one sentence.
I know for a fact that you have no clue what it is. I can tell that you think that the Big Bang is when nothing turned into something, which means you haven't spent even 5 seconds trying to understand what it is. So I think we're probably done with the Big Bang because you don't know anything about it, unless you want me to teach you about it.
I've graduated school.
Yeah, congratulations. I'm sure the ninth time you took 4th grade, you finally figured some things
I was
out.
fed the same information.
You sound like you're about 43 years old. Did you graduate like last semester from high school? Do you think that the Earth is flat?
Yes. No, it's actually round, flat, and hollow.
So you're a professional idiot. Oh, okay, not just an amateur idiot. Okay. Round, flat, and hollow.
I'm
Jesus
less of
Christ.
an idiot than you, dude. I'm not believing in Santa and that monkey can...
Dude described his stomach, his brain, and his girlfriend. Round, flat, hollow. Wow.
Wow, insult. Very good insults.
It was pretty
Super
good. It's
good.
better than anything you could possibly come up with.
Oh my, you gotta give it to him. That was pretty cool.
Come up? Yeah, I can come up with my girlfriend. You don't. You're fritzmaching in your right hand.
I
can you answer the
am a
question or
prophet and you are my vessel. I said you could never possibly come up with anything even remotely as good, and what you said is, come girlfriend your right hand beard. That's the best you could do.
You actually are freaking...
Please
deaf,
tell me
man.
English is not your first language.
Please tell me you are not deaf because...
It is? Oh, man, because I could understand how your inability to communicate would make a little bit of sense based on that,
Are
but
you deaf?
but it is your
there a
first
penis in your
language.
ear?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Is there a
Chat,
penis in
it
your
can't
ear
even
because
do
you can't
English.
hear? I'm a 120 millimeter mortar shooter and never accounted for any of the globe data. Yes, mortar. Yes, do you know what a mortar is? Oh, you never served in the military. Oh my God, kids. Oh,
No, I had
so
enough brain power to get a
sad.
degree, and then I got a second degree.
my God.
Again,
I also
you'll
have- I
never be
also
on
have
my
a degree.
level. You'll
I
never
also
be on
have
my
a
level,
degree,
dude.
Like 3 of them, and also have a degree for skills.
A degree
Actually,
for
and I-
skills. So you went to one of those
Yes.
schools where they teach you life skills because you can't learn any of the other material, and they gave you like a piece of construction
No.
paper with crayon writing on it, and you actually thought that meant that you graduated from school.
Oh no, the paper is given.
Oh
during
no!
sports.
Oh
one
no!
is teaching that.
Dude had to take life skills classes and thought that he graduated, that he has a degree in life skills. Oh no!
Dude, you even
Can you
listen
microwave a
or
Pop Tart
what?
yet?
I'm 120.
No, you can't microwave a Pop Tart yet. Okay, maybe you should go back to school.
How much time do you think all those calculations take before the shot? How much time?
What was the question?
For a competent person, not long. For you, an eternity.
Can you answer without being an idiot? I need a time.
That was the
Numbers.
best you could come up with. It took you 5 seconds to
I'm-
get that 8-word sentence out, and all you could say was, idiot.
Oh my god, I asked a normal question. Can you answer it or what? You're talking, I'm doing. I have experience in experiments and you have experience, so much experience in talking. Very sharp tongue. That's very, I don't know how to say. That's cool, man. But I do
That was
things
almost
in
a sentence.
reality.
Congratulations.
It's,
Maybe
When was
maybe
the
you
last
can
time
get
you
an
got up from that
honorary
chair?
degree in life skills for having almost completed your first sentence one time.
Do you have a pronouns?
Everybody has pronouns.
What are they?
What are pronouns? Pronouns are articles of
Yeah.
speech used
Of
to
yours,
refer
of
to
yours.
people.
What are
Bim bam
yours?
boom, bippity boppity boo. I see you.
So
Like
sad
for
you.
example, yours are it, is, stupid. Those are your pronouns. No, I'm just kidding. Just it. Chat, its pronouns are it.
So you gave me the pronouns right now?
Yeah.
But do you think
So
it's
what are
real?
wait. Do you have pronouns?
Yeah. He, him.
So those are the pronouns that you use?
Yes, because I know who
Oh, well, I
am.
reject the concept of preferred pronouns. So your pronouns are
It's not like no.
No, that is what you prefer. You said I go by he, his, but I reject the concept of preferred pronouns, right? Because that's what you reject
Okay.
too. So your pronouns are her, der, and it. Chat, it thinks that its pronouns are he, him. So anyways,
And the way you did the shit with your hair looked so gay and you're trying to roast me that I'm it?
yeah.
For as far as we can tell, there's no other life out there. It's just it. It's the only time
That's
it's
so we haven't looked for life
happened.
anywhere.
Not big. Like we haven't looked at all. Basically, yeah, I agree. But to the best of our knowledge, from what we can see, there isn't at least any intelligent life or life out there yet. Maybe there is there to be found. I mean, I believe that there is other life, but all the small little intricacies in whether it be how far away the Earth is from the sun, what's the term that they use?
The Goldilocks zone. The Goldilocks zone is absolutely enormous. People pretend that
Not
it's
compared
not.
to the scope of the universe. It's not.
Well, but that's completely irrelevant. If the sun and Earth were anywhere in the universe, but at a set distance that works for life, then it wouldn't matter where we are in the universe. That doesn't matter at all.
No, there's some very small margins that if it was any different,
No.
there would be no life here.
No, that's just not the case at all. The temperatures on Earth, you can find life in temperatures north of. Do you use Celsius where you're from?
Yes.
So I'm not exactly sure, but it's going to be north of 40 Celsius and south of around negative 100 Celsius. We find life across those ranges of temperatures. But we also know that if Mars hadn't lost its magnetic field, Mars would almost certainly still have like a water cycle on its planet. And so that doesn't mean that life would have evolved on Mars, but it could have evolved on Mars. So these people, the idea that there are strict parameters for life is just really is not the case. Now, if you want to make the argument for intelligent life, then that probably would be more strict.
But again, there's absolutely no evidence for any other life outside of this planet.
So the absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. We have not looked. And so we can't conclude that there is no evidence. That's not the case. You can't say that there isn't something when you haven't looked.
There's currently no evidence.
I don't exactly know what you mean by that. We don't know, but to say that there is no evidence, that is what that means, but in a very important sense, that's also not what that means. It's an analogy that gets commonly replayed is go to the ocean and take a scoop of water and then conclude that there are no blue whales. That wouldn't be appropriate.
An intelligent designer.
Yeah, aliens intelligently designed gravity to be the strength that it is.
No, I'm not taking aliens for an answer.
Then what is the answer?
Stupid answer.
Then what is the answer?
It's an intelligent designer.
Could you provide evidence of that?
Yes. Charles Darwin, your own atheist. What's his name?
His name's Charles Darwin. Like you just said 5 seconds ago. I've never heard anybody do that. Charles Darwin, the guy that what's his name? You forgot the person's name at the end of the sentence that you began with by saying his name. I've never heard that before. Congratulations.
You don't have anything, my friend. You don't. And clip this.
I'm literally waiting for evidence that an intelligent designer did it. I'm literally waiting for evidence.
Thinking you're so smart.
I'm literally waiting for evidence that an intelligent designer did it. I'm literally waiting.
Yes, it's an intelligent designer. An alien is not an intelligent designer.
I'm literally still waiting.
Invalid answer. Respond to the argument properly.
I'm literally still waiting.
Invalid answer.
I'm literally still waiting for your evidence that an intelligent designer did it.
An intelligent designer, because as my argument, fine-tuning.
No, I didn't ask for an argument. I asked for evidence.
Was lower or stronger.
Moeman, I didn't ask for an argument. I asked for evidence.
That's my argument.
And I asked for evidence.
Strength, and now you're getting embarrassed in front of 191 people.
I'm literally not. Chat.
Yes, you are.
If I'm getting embarrassed, then type anti-disestablishmentarianism. If the guest is getting embarrassed, type 1. Oh no, dude, look at how embarrassed you're getting right now. All they had to do to express that I was the one getting embarrassed was to type anti-disestablishmentarianism, and not a single one of them have done it. It's like literally the easiest thing. I gave them the easiest possible task. And you didn't get a single... Oh, you got one supporter. And your one supporter voted twice. Oh, he voted 3 times. Tristan, you can't vote 3 times.
Just kick me out, bro.
No.
Wasting my time.
No.
I just came here to just redeem myself from being clipped out of context.
Well, you haven't done that. But if you're trying to sell us that a god, by miraculous means, is necessary for life, for us to even entertain that as a possibility, we need evidence that miraculous things occur, that magic is real, that the supernatural realm exists, or anything like that. So if we don't have any of that, then like we at least have evidence of chemistry and biochemistry and the way that life operates, and a very clear and unambiguous line of evidence that shows that life has naturally progressed from simple to complex forms. Those things are known. This other quantity is completely unknown unless you have evidence. And sitting here saying, well, you guys don't know how blank happened is not evidence that your explanation is true.
Correct, but at least it's evidence that points to a God.
It's
It
not.
doesn't.
No, but
What I'm
it's
saying,
not.
let me-
You
let me-
literally
let me-
said, "Yeah, you're right. It's not evidence, but it's evidence of God." That's what
It's
I
God
said.
of the
it
gaps.
was.
It's
All you're doing is a God of the gaps. It's it. You're saying, here's something I can't explain. Let me put God into it. But what's the evidence that the God is responsible for it?
no. Well, I would think there's a principle here that when the combined forces, if the combined properties of what you're witnessing cannot account for what you're witnessing, then you must invoke something else.
That's an argument
but-
from
I wish I could
ignorance.
finish my point.
It's
though.
but why would you invoke a God? What's the reason why we would invoke a God other than another naturalistic phenomenon?
I would love to explain that, but so the reason I invoke a God for this is because, again, on all the scientific knowledge we have, there is no evidence that these living things can put themselves together. This type of chemistry does
Again,
not-
busy,
I wish I
busy.
could finish
This,
my
What
point.
evidence
this
that your
is-
God did it do you have?
Busy,
Well, I wish I could
our
finish my
question,
point, so-
busy, stop talking. We're not asking you what evidence is against the naturalistic hypothesis that we're positing. We're asking what is the evidence for your possibility of a God doing it, which is why I started the conversation with, it doesn't matter what you think of our theory of abiogenesis is, you still need to provide an argument for why it came from a God. What is the evidence that a God did it rather than just a life-granting unicorn in the universe that runs around granting life to polypeptides? Why? Give me the argument for God rather than the life-granting unicorn.
All right. So once you wade past this, right? This is just my logical process. So once I wade past the fact that these things cannot organize themselves, I say, well, that God is necessary. So if a God is necessary,
Why? Busy. I'm asking you why. What? Give me the argument for why it has to be a God. Why? What's the argument for that? That's what I want to know. You're saying the only alternative to the current abiogenesis theory is a God. It's not. There's 100 alternative theories. I'm asking you for the evidence that God is the answer.
Fair enough. So I try to keep explaining that. I said that that you have no evidence. We have no rule, no natural laws, no chemistry. None of
He
this
can't
stuff.
actually. He doesn't understand the question.
But
It's
busy,
okay.
you don't have that for your claim. So
But
let's
could I
let's
finish? But
let's
you
just
keep
flip
interrupting.
this.
You don't
How
say
did
that.
your God do it?
How did so you don't have to know how something is done to know that somebody did
Oh,
it.
Therefore,
that's it.
we have
There you
just
go.
proved that the life-granting unicorn grants life. We have just
Praise
proven
unicorns.
it together.
Okay,
With
but at
freaking
least now-
lasers.
Hold on. But so now.
Oh
we've
yeah, with
moved-
lasers.
So now we've moved past this naturalistic worldview, right? That there's at least something else that is required. to create
The
this,
life
right?
granting unicorn is a naturalistic phenomenon.
The problem is we've
so-
graduated to nothing. Well, what we've done is we've graduated to an infinite series of possible alternative explanations, which means we've arrived at nothing in particular.
All right.
This is like asking your girlfriend, where do you want to go for dinner? It's the same thing.
Says, I heard the messenger of Allah saying the cure for sciatica is the fat from the tail of the Bedouin sheep or wild sheep, which should be melted and divided into 3 parts, 1 part taken each day on an empty stomach.
So, Maja. This is interesting. I mean, I'd look into this. No, I would look into this. But I mean, this is not. I wouldn't say that this is a cure or not. I mean, I work in medicine, and I don't know if all cures.
Well, as it turns out, there's a medical doctor that came up to talk to us real quick. Ems, do you think that the fat of the Bedouin sheep tail can cure sciatica pain?
No. Can't. Additionally to that,
Yeah.
dates do not cure poisons.
No, I would look into that. But I mean, if we're going to do this again, I'm saying that whatever my worldview is more reasonable than yours. So if you're
Because of the credibility of the testimony or the witnesses.
Yes.
Hearsay is the threshold by which you will validate the existence of the supernatural. That's insane.
Actually,
Are you a scientist?
I'm currently doing my PhD in theoretical physics, and if you look at the DESI model that was published 2.5 weeks ago, lambda CDM is almost certainly a false theory. We found, for example, net rotation in galaxy clusters, and we're not. You can Google DESI. Their article is published out probably about 2 weeks ago, and most scientists prefer the inflation model over Big Bang, anyways. So, yeah.
Do you just disagree that the cosmic microwave background radiation, do you disagree that the fluctuations in temperature are only about 1 in 1/10,000th of a degree?
No, the CMD.
CMB.
Sorry, yes. Has fairly homogeneous.
Fairly? The discrepancies between the highest and lowest temperature are within, like, it's the most perfect black body radiation thing that's ever been observed.
Okay, well, I think you're getting a bit semantic over specific words here, but yeah, it's a.
What am I being semantic about?
It's a very homogeneous.
The most homogeneous we've ever seen.
On a macroscopic event, sure, maybe.
What does that mean? The difference between the greatest and lowest temperature variant in it is something like a 10,000th of a degree. It's the most perfect black body radiation we've ever observed.
Sorry, I don't understand your point here.
And you're getting a PhD in physics? Do you disagree that the universe is expanding? Because it pretty much sounds like you just said we have evidence of it.
So, I mean, we have evidence of a constant redshift. Whether or not and how that is interpreted may or may not be expansion.
You can say yes, no, or I don't know. Do you agree that we live in an expanding universe?
I personally do not believe that we live in an expanding universe. Our current theories do not suit that, and so if you're trying to
I don't know what you mean by they don't suit it. The physics breaks down with black holes, but the only reason we even ever thought that black holes existed was because GR told us that they would exist. And then we found them. And underlying physics may be able to tell us what the hell's going on beyond the event horizon, or maybe it's fundamentally unknowable for some reason, but that doesn't that doesn't disprove or diminish, I think, in any way the established science of GR in any more way than GR didn't disprove or supersede or replace classical mechanics, even though classical mechanics couldn't do things like describe Mercury's orbit. It's still phenomenally accurate and successful at all kinds of other things. But anyways, I said we were going to go back to this.
Yeah,
Galaxies have a preferred...
I think you kind of just like went on some tangent rant and try to like insert something.
Well, luckily I know that I didn't, so I'm not interested in listening to whatever that point was going to be. Okay, what is this thing about galaxies having a preferred spin? There's no orientation in the universe, so I'm not sure what you mean by that.
If you're not willing to be cordial, then I guess we'll just be done here. I mean,
the principle of charity was broken by you saying that I went on some tangential, irrelevant rant when I know that that's not what I did.
No, all I simply said was that you inferred that I said something that I did not. But that's
Which
fine.
was what?
You have a great day. Bye.
Yeah. That was not a PhD student.
you. Oh no.
It's absolutely
I'm
not
actually
what I said.
recording this, so
I'm actually. Good for you, dipshit.
Did you not say that? Did it not have anything to do?
No, I
with
didn't
my
say that.
Perception of reality.
No,
So then
you are
correct me.
you are taking some of the words I said and boiling down what I said to just that. You're just cherry picking a part of it.
I think that is a little bit of projection because you're cherry picking me. You couldn't really give me a good definition of.
You
what
haven't even
reality
said
was.
anything yet.
I had explained that it's subjective. I asked you if you think that theories are true or false. You said theories are true.
What did I say true meant?
To the best understand. Basically, what you said generally is just to the best understanding of how we know it.
No.
Right? Oh, well then will you please correct me?
No,
being
what I
degrading
want
and
to do,
correct.
I'm not going to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to sit here
we're
and
not gonna
laugh
do
at your
that. We're not
inability
gonna- we're
to
not gonna
actually repeat anything that I said. I'll try to give you some little clues, but I don't want to give it away. I said there was a distinction between I said there was a distinction between the way true can be used or proven or whatever in different senses. And I was talking about absolute, analytical, tautological truths versus empirical ones. Now, can you remember or
so
repeat
you're absolutely
anything
lying
that I
because
said?
You definitely made a comment about reality, and now you're backtracking on that comment.
Yes, I
Wow.
said the word reality, and now you're trying to boil down my entire argument or what I said as just being that
Trying to
true
backtrack on
is
that
what
because I
reality
told you
is
that
or
was
proven is that.
subjective. And now you can't get yourself out of that corner because I told you reality is subjective.
This is one of the performances of all time. So, what do you want to talk about?
Are theories true or false?
I already
Do you
answered that.
understand
What do you want to
can
talk
be
about
true-
next?
Do you understand that you can be true within your scientific theory but wrong in a different one? Do you understand?
What does that have to do?
degrading people over
Explain
your
what that means.
photo-
Explain with an example what that means. He can't do this, chat. It can't do this, but it's going to be funny to watch it try. Explain what that means via an analogy, or a real world, or a real world example.
Explain what means. Oh,
Did
now
you forget
can't
what you
repeat I'm saying.
said?
Now
Did you
can't
forget
repeat
what you
I'm saying.
said, Kid Collie?
This is goofy.
Did you forget what you said, Kid Collie?
No, I didn't. You can't repeat what
Then
I
what
said.
did you say?
Look at this loop that you're making right now. You asked me to act. You literally asked me if I could repeat something you said, and now he's failing to do the same thing for me. Awesome, Peter. Awesome. Let me make something clear for you, Peter, okay? You degrading people off of your education.
Yeah, nice try, sweetheart. So you said, did you know that you could be true in one scientific theory but false in another scientific theory? So could you explain via an example what you mean by that? I don't think you can. I think you're just I think you just are nothing but empty rhetoric, and you will not be able to do this. But go ahead.
In the dog
Go ahead.
training world, there's two active theories that people follow. Is that not science? Oh,
It
now he's
doesn't
laughing
sound
at different types of
scientific to
science.
me,
Isn't that came
blank.
up and debated you about the Big Bang? Okay.
Oh yeah, that liar, that PhD student that
She
didn't
actually-
know
okay, so she
didn't know
actually
jack
didn't say she was a
shit.
PhD. This is also again your tactic to degrade people. She didn't say she was a PhD. She said she was working towards it. So
I said PhD
Asshat,
student.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I said
All you
PhD
say things
student.
just
So
to
once
discredit
again,
people. You don't prove.
Kid Collie, I said PhD student. If you have selective hearing, or if you got so triggered by the first part of my sentence
said
that you
she
started talking before I finished it, and you didn't hear me say the word student, then that's your problem.
not.
But I said PhD student.
That's a blatant lie.
The PhD student?
That is an absolute.
That's fucking cute, dude. Chat, did I say PhD student or did I say PhD?
Dad, am I cooked right now? Leave it
He
to the
said
dude.
student. Yes. PhD student, PhD student, student. So you can believe that all these people who I don't even know are just simping for me and lying. Or you can accept
bro.
that maybe
You're
you got
kind of
sand in your
decent,
vagina
yeah.
and you started talking before I was done talking and you didn't hear me say student, or you just
you
have
out on
selective
interrupting me
hearing
first.
because of the I don't know. That's fucking precious, dude. So if evolution was true, what would the evidence look like?
If evolution was true, what would the evidence look like?
Yep.
Well, it just can't be true. That's the problem. That I'm trying to imagine. When I try to imagine what the evidence would look like, I think to myself, well, how could I imagine for something that's impossible to happen? Because I've never seen a cup of tea make itself. So why am I going to assume that life forms create themselves and then all of a sudden spontaneously created all the different variations from the same environment over a long period of time? You're trying to say that time.
Have you read any book ever?
Hold on. If life forms were making themselves, then basically we would have some sort of more. We'd have more of an indication of actually things evolving. Like when are you going to evolve some common sense, for example? Are you going to evolve as an ape?
That's fucking precious that you can't do this, dude.
True.
But anyways, if everything on the planet did come from the original organism, what would the evidence of that look like?
It would look like when people have these spontaneous mutations, women would be giving birth to slightly transitional kind of creatures, but that doesn't happen in reality.
That's called Pokemon. Pokemon is an anime, so it's not science.
It would look like the signature of the creator that is created, like the same with a car. Like you'd have a Hyundai on all the Hyundais. That's what it looked like.
That was a nondescript non-answer. Can you give me? I'm asking you for what would the scientific evidence we could look for to confirm that everything came from the original organism.
Creator.
What would that evidence look like?
Exactly like it came from the creator. That's what it would look like. So a cup of tea made itself, yeah? That's what you're saying? Because cup of teas make themselves, don't they? They don't need a creator. They can just make themselves with, what, billions of years? Oh, add billions and billions. Oh, what happens? Nothing. You've got nothing.
Why is it that we can see billions of light years?
Is it really?
Why is it that we can see billions of light years?
You're an ape. You're an ape. You can't tell.
Why is it that we can see billions of light years? That's the only question that you're going to answer. Okay. Why is it?
Because apes can't tell what they're looking at. How does a Homo sapien apefish know about billions of years or billions of distances? How can a Homo sapien apefish use its brain, bro?
It's actually not that hard. You sort of can't help but use your brain.
You need a few million years. You need a few million years.
You can help it. You somehow choose not to.
You need to evolve, bro. You need to evolve in it. You're a self-confessed.
Well, not exactly. Do you know what an ape is?
Said, I'm a Homo sapien ape that evolved from like nothing and billions of years of the same environment with all this complexity of life. All this complexity have come from exactly the same environment. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. On its face, it falls flat. There's no possible way that your theory of magic cups of tea making themselves into life forms could ever happen in a billion years, bro. So, as a fish ape, you've got a lot to learn. So,
what evidence of creationism do you have?
What evidence do you want to take? Take your pick. Everything around you. Look at your hand. Look at your eye. Look at your eyeball. Look at your head. Look at your hair. Look at your moustache. Look at your nose. Look at absolutely everything around you. Are you that blind? Oh my, you're an ape. You're an ape.
Oh man, you still don't know what begging the question is.
You don't know you're an ape.
The circular reasoning involved in it. You're saying the universe, because you're saying the universe is finely tuned with the intention of life existing, and we know this because life exists, and we observe the universe, and then we read into the point of that, the telos of us existing, which unfortunately is the conclusion we're searching for. So it's circular.
Well, I guess I don't see it quite like that. I see it as trying to use science to observe everything that we can in search of potential answers for the origin of life. And there just seems to be so many things, whether it is, the physics stuff that we can observe that, seem that there's some sort of potential tuning, whether it's nuclear force, electrons to protons ratio, all the way down to, single cell organisms and how did the first single cell replicate itself. There seems to be a need for organized information in order for these things to happen, and that
but that's true for the existence of stars and cow farts too, because the laws of physics apply to them the same way that they apply to us.
So does it apply to cow farts?
Yeah, they're not subject to a different laws of physics. The constants apply to everything.
Well, so we can perceive the And the only thing we perceive was
I suppose we can go in order with spin. Do you remember when the flat earthers created a documentary and they proved that spin was happening at 15 degrees per hour?
Are they still flat earthers?
Yeah.
And how did they prove it was spinning?
With a ring laser gyroscope, it detected 15 degrees of rotation per hour.
So flat earthers got to do it for you guys?
So you're acknowledging that they did do an experiment that proved it.
Yeah, and something says it's 15 degrees. You
Great.
can't prove it's the Earth. How do you do that?
Because that's what the ring laser gyroscope was able to measure. It maintains its angular momentum, but then it shifts relative to its surroundings. That's caused by
why didn't
the Earth.
Morley detect motion of the Earth?
The Michelson-Morley experiment was designed to see if Earth is moving through the luminiferous ether.
Yeah.
It didn't detect movement through the luminiferous ether because there's no such thing as the luminiferous ether.
Okay, so no movement. All right. You want to
Not through the luminiferous ether, no, but that's not what spin
So
is.
you're saying it's going through space, right?
Yeah, that's not what spin is.
All right. Can you tell me what space is, outer space? What's the properties of it?
Well, it's pretty big and empty. I would start there.
So devoid of matter?
Quite devoid of matter, yeah.
All right. So we've left the scientific realm when we go into this place, right?
No, because we have gone there and we've studied it.
Science is the study of the material world or nature.
That's fucking cute. So space is part of the material world can just mean the universe. We've gone there and we've studied it.
If there is no matter there, there's no material.
That's precious.
Yeah,
what is there between air
So
molecules?
you believe in nothing.
What is there between air molecules?
You believe in nothingness.
Yeah, so the question is, what is there between air
You're
molecules?
supposed to be proving a globe. Why are you asking me?
Yeah, so the question is, what is there between air molecules?
Hey, you want to go learn about flat Earth? There's plenty other lives you can do that in. Here, you prove a globe, or I drop you.
Yeah, I'm in the process of doing that. What's between air molecules?
You're asking me questions. I can prove it's flat. I don't have to ask you nothing.
So the answer to what is there between air molecules is nothing.
I don't
So the study of air is the study of
Prove
nothing,
it's in
apparently.
Space, not scientifically.
What is there between air molecules?
What is there?
Empty space.
Oh, really? Prove that.
Boom roasted.
Get you in the big box. How do you prove that?
How do I prove that between air molecules there isn't anything?
Yeah.
Are you saying that if you have a container, 100% of all the space in the container is filled with atoms? That's very silly of you.
Saying there's energy. There's energy everywhere. There's no such thing as no thing. This is blind faith. This is a religion you have, but
You keep moving the goalpost in ways that are really cute. It's cute. Well, that's actually really easy to do. An Eratosthenes experiment gives you predictions that come true under a globe model. None of those predictions have ever come true under a flat Earth model. Huh?
Psychics.
You clearly have not even the first clue about how science works. And it's going to be really funny to watch you fail to tell the audience. So tell us anything about how the scientific process works.
It didn't curve yesterday. It's not spinning. It's not
I didn't ask you if the Earth spins. What I asked you was if you could tell us how science works.
There, I'm trying. Maybe, I guess there's a language barrier, so I'll try to put it in terms you can understand.
Do you know how science works?
Do you have the first clue about how science works?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
How do you do a scientific experiment?
Yeah, that's the question. Go ahead.
What must it be to be a law?
Yeah, go ahead, Dance Monkey. Tell us.
All right, and then I'm going to drop you because you ain't got a clue.
Says the guy that can't describe the basics of
I'll
science.
go ahead and tell them, Planet. Good job, buddy. You didn't do anything.
That was a great debate you just had. I just had a quick question. Your parents weren't brother and sister, were they?
Yeah, I think they might have been somewhere down the line. Next, who else we got here?